Hello and welcome back to Loop Hero. This is episode 2 and we're ready to get started with our second expedition. We're going to try and speed things up a little bit and try and get through a couple of expeditions as quickly as we can. Okay, so let's get our sound up on Loop Hero and we should be good to go. Let's just check that audio. There we go, I think that's better. Okay, so on our last game we unlocked the expedition menu, so let's just have a look at what's here. So first we're going to check the deck building menu. So for the first time we are now able to select which cards are going to go into the deck. Just hide the camera for a second so you can see everything. Okay, so we've got the cemetery and the grove, which we saw last time, and by building our last two buildings, we've actually unlocked the blood grove and the swamp. Okay, so let's just take everything off, and we'll see what we're going to have. Okay, so I think I'm going to swap out the we're going to swap in the grove, sorry, or keep it in, I should say. We'll pop in the blood grove because I believe those two have got some synergies, and we'll also take the battlefield to try and get some extra chests. We'll grab the rock and meadow cards. We'll also take in the treasury and the oblivion. I think we'll leave off the beacon because I don't think we really saw too much benefit from it last time. So we'll confirm that for now. Got quite a thin deck there. Let's just bring the camera back. Okay, in fact actually I might leave that off until we get into game. Okay, so that's the deck building element. We can also see the stats of the chapter that we're on. So our enemies will have 0 to 1 abilities, strength is reduced, their strength growth is by 2% every loop, and we can only get 10 of each resource, so no matter how far we go, that's what we're going to get. Warrior is pretty much a generic class, doesn't really have any key benefits or disadvantages. It's got much higher durability, so sustain and damage resistance, and it gains 2% damage for each second that it survives in the fight. So in other words, the longer that you can make a fight go for, the better your attack will become. And the class stats are what we saw the last time. We can also see the benefits that we got. So we've now got potions, which heals for 4% of our HP. We add 2 for every loop we complete, and we can have up to 3 potions. Okay. So we've got our deck set up. There's nothing else that we can build at the moment, and nothing that we can afford to upgrade. So I think it's time for us to jump back into another game. So we've got our deck all set up. Let's jump back in. Okay, let's bring our bits and bobs back in. Okay, so we're our first battle. Sorry about those. Okay. So we've got all of our slimes on the map. Let's get our equipment that we've just found in. We're still lacking a weapon at the moment. And I think we'll do our rocks over this side again. Yeah, we'll do them up here. Okay, let's get going. Yeah, so like I say, I think we can increase the pace now because most of the stuff that we'll be seeing on this run we'll have already seen before, so we'll pause after this one so that we can get some stuff down, get some stuff equipped. What have we got? Magic damage or counter? Since we haven't got a weapon, we'll take magic damage to start off with. Let's hope we get a weapon off this slime. We don't. We've still just got the counter ring. Okay, we've got a meadow which we can start planting around the rocks to make sure that they bloom. Okay, we've got a new shield, but I don't think we'll replace it. We've got slightly worse armour. Let's get all of these rocks down in place. Okay, so cemeteries, we're going to start plonking down. We'll do them shortly after the heal. Carry on with those. Okay, we've got our first grove. Now, there's a synergy that we can do with blood groves that we're going to get on this one. So what we'll need to do is place them in a position where they've got an off-road tile next to them. So we're going to pop it down there, and we'll actually get resource out of that by placing it next to, into our path rather. Okay, gone past the camp again. So we've got a regen ring. We'll use that early on for a little bit of sustain. Another regen ring there. Get ourselves another resource. We'll actually pop that down just so that we can see what we're collecting. Got the mountain down there. So we want to get this mountain out as soon as possible. It gives us a big HP boost and also allows harpies to spawn. Let's get these meadows popped down, and also that rock. And we'll carry on going. Still haven't got a weapon, unfortunately. This is one of the reasons why it's important to get the smithy, because we're already on loop 2 and we still haven't got any form of weapon. Okay, so we've got an Oblivion that we can keep. That will complete our mountain. So we actually get lots and lots of resources from the mountain. And there is a clever trick that we can do. So if we were to use the Oblivion on one of these tiles, then it would allow us to destroy the mountain and then rebuild it instantly. So just to give you an idea of what I mean, we use the Oblivion here. You can see it destroys the mountain, pop the rock back, and we get all of those resources again. So these are the resources that you get for transforming the world. We also get a single rock resource, but we would get that anyway. Okay, so we're going to plonk down the treasury. We're going to be building next to the mountain anyway, to try and get as much HP out of it as possible. So it's a very good place to put it. So we'll carry on fighting. We are at 2 times speed, so we're going as quick as we can. There's another mountain down there. Got our first harpy spawning, which is good. Not exactly sure how often it is, every 2 days. So. Okay, we've got our first skeleton to fight. This is actually going to be a real struggle, since we haven't found a weapon yet. We've got really, really unlucky on this run, to be honest. It might give us a chance to see our potions in action, though. In case you're wondering, because it's an auto battler, you can't actually use the potions manually. Oh, hello. That's strange. So we've jumped from having no weapon at all to a level 4 spear. That'll speed things along nicely. It's a good job we did as well, because we could easily have died if we hadn't found a decent weapon then. Nice. We've got a really good armor there as well. Massive HP boost. We've also got attack speed encounter from that. So we've now got a counter of 27. Which is really good. We now just need to find a decent ring. Let's plop that meadow down there, and we will also get a battlefield. Where should we put it? Put that down there for now. So we've got a couple of goblins to deal with from having so many different types of rock. Lovely, we've got some vampirism. That's what we've been missing so far. As far as I can tell, we haven't had a single item with vampirism up till this point, which is probably why we're so low on HP this early in the game. We've got a harpy dropping right on the square that we're walking past. Okay, don't think that's worth the upgrade. Some of the later polearms are really good for having a really defensive build, but at the moment I don't think we need them. Okay, we've got a couple of rat wolves here. Okay, we've got another battlefield which we'll put down. And we'll add in some meadows. It's interesting. So I think as soon as we get an Oblivion, we'll dispose of that Goblin Hole, because it does create a really, really dangerous combination. The Goblin Leader, whenever something dies, I think it gets an attack boost, and obviously that can cause a lot of problems. So. Okay, so what we've done here, let's just pause for a second. What we've done here is we've placed the items at the top of the treasury, just so that we leave this space available for as long as possible. And it's quite good. We only had one more space before we blocked off this square, but we now have 3 squares where each one will activate both treasuries, so it's really efficient. Okay, so we can swap, we can gain 6 defense and swap evasion for attack speed. I think we'll do that just because the defense is important to us. Yeah, we'll carry on for now. Vampirism is now actually keeping up quite well with the damage that we're taking, just because we have such a high defense. Unfortunately, it won't be high enough to stave off the damage from these goblins. So you can see that we're taking a lot more damage than we're healing. What have we got here? That gives us evasion, damage to all, gives us a little bit less attack speed, and vampirism gives us 7% evasion, so I think we'll switch that over. What does this one do? Counter and vampirism, I don't think that's as good. It's good to have extra defense, but I think we're better off there. Let's take out this chest. What do we get? We get damage to all 4, but I think the one we're wearing is actually better. And this one gives us 9% evasion and the same amount of attack. I think we'll leave that there. We'll keep with what we've got. Okay. Got an armor that comes with magic damage counter and regen, so all we're losing is attack speed. I think we'll take that more than anything for the regen, just to get our health ticking back up as we walk around. Okay, we've got 3 items from that one. We'll keep building cemeteries because skeletons are difficult foes, but they do give some of the best rewards. So. Okay, we've got a vampirism shield. It's got slightly less defense, but it's got vampirism and counter, so I think that's worth taking. See there, we're now starting to build up our vampirism quite a lot, so that's good. Okay, we've got another grove. We'll plop that down. And we'll also start building up some meadows. Where's a good spot for these? We can start building down this side as well, actually, to be fair. So. Okay, so our resources are starting to build up again. We haven't got a massive amount, but we'll keep looping. So we're on loop level 4 already. So you can see, in comparison to the last loop that we were doing, we're actually travelling around a lot quicker than we were before. Ooh. Where are we? So we've unlocked that treasury. So that's got regen and vampirism on it. That is an instant pick. How's this shield? Evasion and damage to all. A little bit better defense, but we lose our vamp, so I think we'll stick with what we've got. This is the Blood Grove, which is good. It can only be placed when it's got a grove next to it. And the roots from it will devour enemies that have less than 15% HP. So basically, if you get an enemy down to 15% HP, this will consume it, and once it's consumed enough, it will spawn a special enemy. So hopefully we'll get to see that in a bit. Okay, so what's good here? A combination of regen and vampirism now is making it so that we are almost back to full health before we battle. Probably this battle is going to take us down quite significantly, but I would hope that we're going to be able to recover it as we go around. I'm actually going to get rid of this goblin camp just because I know that there's going to be another one coming up soon. One hasn't spawned yet, but we're close to the point where another one will spawn, I think. So get rid of this chest. What have we got? Ritual sword, more damage, magic damage, and defense. I think we'll take that. What's it got? Counter. I think we'll take it for now. That's going to do a lot more damage. This gives 25 defense, as opposed to the 10 that we're getting at the moment. So preventing 15 damage on every attack, I think, is more important. Let's check these armors. No, there's something better there. Okay, what have we got? So we've got 10% counter, 1.2 regen per second. So we'd lose 7 defense and get 1.2 regen per second. It'll take us up to 3 regen a second. I think we'll switch over. Let's get that going. We're now doing significantly more damage as well, which is good. I think that's... where's the... yeah, it's due to our armour, adding 7 to our total damage, which is great. Also means that our vampirism is going to be going through the roof. So we've got our first mimic here. So this is just a version of the treasure chest that attacks you. There's mimics in all kinds of games, obviously, but this is just this game's version of them. Okay, so we've got regen per second as we had before, but we would lose our regen, so I think we'll leave that one. Okay, that's good. We've got another Oblivion. We're going to plop down another battlefield. We'll drop down another cemetery and a rock there for the treasury. So this Oblivion is going to be used to dispose of this goblin camp, which has just spawned. So Oblivions are really useful for disposing of things that you don't want on the board. Okay, so I think our aim for this this one is just going to be to get to a much better position to fight the boss. We've got the treasury. Okay, so it's got damage wall, counter, and evasion. We get a much less defense and no regen, so I think we'll move away from that one. This one gives us the same amount of defense, so this gives us 1.8 regen per second, so we'd be up to 4.8 regen per second, but we lose 9 magic damage. I think we're doing okay at the moment. I might switch over to this. I'll see how it goes. I might switch over to this if we get into any battles that look like they're going to cripple us. Right, okay, let's get another grove down. So this blood grove is now feeding on all 3 of these groves, which is great. Let's pop down another meadow, and there we go. Okay, yeah, so we're easily disposing of all of these enemies. We'll just keep these mountains and rocks going down. Let's have a look. Yeah, that's fine. So if we get another blood grove, what we'll do is we'll pop it down next to the existing one, and I think there's a synergy to that as well. Okay, so this one does a hell of a lot more damage. Gives us evasion and vampirism. So the magic damage on that is pretty much is actually more than counted for, so it's a good swap. We also gain vampirism and evasion, and we just lose 3 defense, so I think that's definitely worth it. Okay, let's keep on going. Okay, just check that. So we lose damage and gain a bit of defense, not worth it. A little bit of extra HP. We lose magic damage, counter, and regen for 16% vampirism. I think we'll leave it for now. We might see if we can find one of this type of armor again, but maybe at a bit of a higher level. Okay, so we've got damage to wall, counter, and evasion. I don't think that's worth switching. I think we'll stick with what we've got. So we've got a gargoyle. So this is a type of enemy that spawns from these empty treasuries. It spawns one every 3 days, and in the same way as the Harpy Mountains, they spawn it to a random spot on the map. Okay, we've got a vampirism ring here that does a little bit more vamp, but we lose 1.2 regen per second and 4 damage to wall. Don't really think that one's worth it. Let's get these groves placed down, and also keep these meadows coming. I don't think there's anything else that we really need to add there, so let's carry on moving. Right, okay. I've never seen this before, and I'm not entirely sure why that's spawned. Dark slime, cosmic liquid. It's a lot stronger than a normal slime by the looks of it. And it tends to give better loot by the looks of it as well. Let's keep all of these being added on. Get another chest. Okay, so we've got 7% vampirism, 11% counter, and 2 defense. So we'd lose a bit of magic damage, but we'd gain a lot of max HP, so I think we'll move over to that one. Fight this Harpy. And that's not better, I don't think. No, I don't think that's any better at all. At some point, I think we are going to have to make a choice to switch away from regen towards vampirism, because as our damage gets better, the regen drops off because it doesn't scale with damage. So, okay, so we've got 15% evasion, but a lot less damage. So I think we'll stick with what we've got. Okay. So we keep our defense and regen, so we're just deciding whether we want counter or damage to all. Have we already got damage to all? We have. Got 4 damage to all, so we could take that to 8. I think counter's more important when we've got such high damage, so I think we'll stick with what we've got. Okay, so you can see the forest eating there. So I'm hoping that we're close to feeding that enough to get an enemy out of it. Okay, so our meadows now are actually giving us 51 health a day. We're actually staying at full health pretty well at this size of loop. So let's keep on working through. So we've got stable metals building up quite nicely. Let's pop one down here. It's nice. It does look like the blood grove is about to kick out. There we go, an enemy. I don't think we can highlight that yet until we get round to it. But this is what we've been hoping for. Okay, we've got armor that has got 1.8 regen. But we lose a lot of max HP, so I don't think that's worth it. I think that with the little green symbol on it, I think that's a unique armor that always has regen on it, but I'm not 100% on that. Okay, let's get these rocks placed down and meadows. We're getting close to the requirements to spawn the boss. Okay, let's have a look at these. So we've got attack speed and evasion versus counter and vampirism. I think we'll stick with what we've got. We've got counter and evasion versus regen. I think we are planning to move away from regen, but I think we'll leave it as is for the moment. We'll just pop this mountain down. I suppose we'll start working this way a little bit, since we're going to run out of room. So as I say, our only objective really for this map is actually just to beat the boss. We're looking pretty strong at the moment, so hopefully, here we go. We'll lose 2 defense and 11% counter, but we gain a huge amount of vampirism. That's what we wanted. So this style of armor will always have vampirism as its first category, I believe. It's almost like a vampire's cloak. That's the way I imagine it anyway, so I know what I'm looking for. So we get damage to all and a massive amount of counter. But this is basically our sustain ring at the moment, so we'll stick with that. Okay. So with that, as I say, with our various sources of healing, we're actually doing really well at the moment. Let's pop down another blood grave and another one over here. Keep building them. So this gargoyle attacks very, very slowly, but does a lot of damage. Okay, so that gives us attack speed and slightly more vampirism. I think we'll actually take that, just because a massive boost to attack speed will make vampirism more effective. So could really do with an upgraded weapon now, though. And maybe a little bit more defense, actually. Not at the cost of so much vampirism, though. We could probably do with maybe getting an armor with a bit more defense on it, maybe. Got a shield, a better shield. So these skeletons are actually becoming very scary now. We lost a large chunk of our health there to those skeletons. So. Okay, plop down another battlefield, which will hopefully spawn a chest for us before we get there. So yeah, these guys are doing a massive amount of damage now. So what I don't get is, it says that they gain 2% per level, per loop, sorry. And I mean, 2% per loop is you know, I know it's cumulative, but I wouldn't have thought it'd be that much. Okay, so this will be a massive amount more vampirism, so take that. We're just hoping for a better weapon, to be honest. Okay, so in these fights, we're actually we're on some turns we're actually gaining HP, which is what we want. Okay, I did say we were switching away from regen, and this gives us a massive amount of damage, which again works in our favour with vampirism. This has got 9% vampirism, so that's going up. Counter. I think we're actually better with this weapon, you know. Yeah, it's lower damage. Yeah, I think we'll stick with what we've got. Use the meadows to gain as much per day as possible. Okay, we've got a better shield by the looks of it. Gives us 10% vampirism, so we'd be up to 53%. I think that's the highest I've ever had, so we'll try this out. So now half of all of our damage will be healed, which is amazing. So we've got less vampirism, more attack speed. I think this is actually the ring that we switched out. What's our attack speed at the moment? So we've got no boost to attack speed. So this will give us 6 attacks instead of 5. So that's well, almost 6 attacks instead of 5. We lose 5% of our, I think, 3% vampirism. So it's about 10% loss. So we hit once more. That's a tough call. But actually, to be fair, the damage to all affects how much vampirism we get back. So I think that one's just about better. Okay, luckily we've only got 1 skeleton here, so we can actually afford to take the massive hits it's throwing out. I think when you're up against these kinds of massive hits, the only thing that you can really do is either just focus completely on defense or build towards evasion. So here we're still making kind of like health profit almost. Let's get all of these plonked down. We'll carry on here. More mountains. And some groves. So we've got a dangerous area coming up ahead here. So we're going to have to hope. We need a much better weapon, to be honest. And here's 2 of them. We've got one that gives defense and regen, one that gives damage to all encounter, but neither of them are anywhere near the damage of this one. Maybe we have got a really good weapon, maybe it's other things that we're lacking on. Okay, we didn't lose too much in that fight. Again, we're making profit here by the looks of it. Okay, we've got an Oblivion. That is definitely going on that bandit goblin camp. Again, it looks like we're making kind of health profit on this fight, so kind of recovering, and we should continue to kind of make profit on it as we go along. Hopefully we won't spawn another one of these blood beasts before we get to fight the next one. I think 2 of these blood beasts would actually be deadly. One of the battlefield, yeah, that'll be fine. Okay, he does a lot of damage. Luckily we're healing quite a lot as well. Because of how slow he attacks as well, I think we're just about making profit on health. Okay, right. So he's got vampirism 10%, some evasion, some regen, and some magic damage. I think we can lose a little bit of vampirism, but I don't want to lose too much. And that loses vampirism, so I think we'll leave that there for now. Okay, right. We're going to plonk down some more mountains there. We'll pop another one there and there. And then add meadows where we can. I don't think we need any more cemeteries. In fact, to be honest, I'm considering getting rid of some of them. I think we've actually got too many. And those skeletons are doing huge amounts of damage. Yeah, I think we will start getting rid of them, to be honest. Unless, actually, I've just spotted that goblin camp spawn. We'll get rid of that instead. It looks like we're actually being chased out of the blood grove by another blood beast, so... Okay, let's see what's come out of there. So we've got 20 to 30 in evasion. Unfortunately, that's not going to be good enough for what we need. Okay, so we'll carry on this over here. Again, we won't be placing down any more cemeteries. This is going to be a really tough fight now. In fact, actually, I've just noticed that we're really, really close to completing the bar. In fact, I think these 2 will definitely complete the bar. And we are one tile away, so... Okay, I've just realised that we have not blocked off the area around there. We'll still fight the boss, we'll see what it's like, but I think that all of these buildings around it are actually going to be enough to kill us, so... yeah, I think we're probably dead here, but we'll plonk down this cemetery over here, because we're not going to get past this boss, I don't think, but we'll give it a go. Give it a go. And our lesson learned from this is surround the Lich. Ooh, what should we have as the voice of the Lich? It's got to be spooky and spectral. Okay. Oh, how is this even possible? That's right. You didn't devour me like the rest of the world. Haven't I? Do you really don't think so? What are you talking about? I'm standing right in front of you. I consumed all of your reality. Every one of its elements now rests in a separate pocket dimension. Spaces, living beings, information, even memories. They shall remain there until entropy does its work, turning everything into a uniform, static mass. Along with you, of course. You're insane. So, what do we have here? I see. You found a way to interact with other pieces of your reality, to organize, combine, and merge them. But how? I don't see any exceptional talent or knowledge in you. You hardly even understand what is happening, right? I'll tell you what's happening. A pile of bones is butchering my world and thinks that it can get away with it. You're already doomed, and you know it. Perhaps you're just the first in a series of systematic errors, a problem I must learn to solve. Let's not waste any time, then. I don't think you're capable of feeling regret, but I'm about to change that. I don't think we are. I really don't think we are. I think he's going to kick the living crap out of us, to be honest, but... yeah, we're not doing anywhere near enough damage, and he's doing far too much to us, so... we've popped all of our potions, and I think the next couple of attacks is going to kill us. We do get stronger as the fight goes on, but not enough to heal enough to survive the next hit. Okay, so unfortunately we do lose, and we can take 30% of our resources earned. I'm alive? But how? It's thanks to us. A small group of us dragged you here. It wasn't easy. How could you fight off all of those monsters? They nearly killed me. That's also interesting. Many of them vanished right before our eyes. Some we managed to avoid, but I think most of the beasts were gone even before we left the camp. I think your trips are deeply connected to your memories, my friend. Everything falls apart as soon as you're unconscious. Okay, so we've learned that it's actually us and our memories that's holding all of this together. So that's quite interesting. Let's have a look and see what's available to build. So we can actually afford to build the gymnasium. That's really good. Let's have a look and see where we want to build that. Pop that down here. So that's how it works. Instead of remembering something, you can just learn it again. That's a nice trick. There's no ill intent. Without education, our world will be left to the savages. You too could learn a few things though. We could all get together and share our useful knowledge and skills. Nah, I already know what all I need to. Leave learning to the kids. Your first lesson. Learn to like learning. That would make life easier for both of us. Okay, so we've got our gymnasium. So it's a place where you'll learn how to read, write, and be polite to your teacher. Physical training takes priority. Unlocks the ability to gain special traits after killing monsters in expeditions, and also unlocks the village card. So that's really going to help us. Let's have a look at the upgrade. So most of these resources I haven't even seen yet, so I think that upgrade is quite a long way away. And I think we're quite a long way away from any other building. So actually we're not too far away from the smithy. But we do need to get some more rations, and for that we're going to have to build the farm, I think. So that's definitely going to be our next port of call. We can also have a look at the refuge to unlock the rogue. But again, I think we're going to need rations, which means we'll need to get the farm on the go. So I think what we'll do is we'll chuck the village in and take the cemetery out, since it managed to kill us. We've also unlocked Chrono Crystals. I'm not exactly sure how we unlocked Chrono Crystals. So crystals that are able to refract not only the light of the rising sun, but the passage of dawn itself. So this doubles the effect of a day's passing on adjacent tiles. Okay, so that might mean we can maybe spawn some more enemies. That doesn't have a day effect. Ooh, heals 2 HP at the start of each day. So if that doubles the effect, we could upgrade that, so we could make meadows. Yeah, we can make meadows a lot better, so that's awesome. So I think we'll actually put those in. I think we'll keep the grove and the blood grove. But yeah, I think that could potentially be our deck for next time. So that's good. But I think we'll leave it there. So thank you very much for watching. A little bit shorter episode this time, thankfully. But yeah, so thank you very much for watching. And next time we're going to go on an expedition. And hopefully, let's just have a quick look. We're going to use villages which give you a heal times the loot that you're on. To try and buff ourselves long enough to survive the fight against the Lich. And we're also going to block off the Lich so that his buildings don't spawn. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Bye for now.